Thank you for joining us in what is the final day of Pyeongchang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. We're here at the Jeongseon Alpine Centre for the women's slalom events. A venue that has not disappointed with drama, devastation, emotions and excitement. And there's all that to come in these three events as well. We'll start off with women's slalom, visually impaired run 1. We'll move to the standing event before the final event of the first run, which is the sitting. Much warmer again here than the opening few days of these Paralympic Winter Games. We'll start our morning session or first run session with temperatures outside of the minuses, so much nicer for spectators, much more comfortable for the athletes.
Right now for the first category for you, visually impaired.
And we'll start off with the women's visually impaired then. 12 athletes taking part in this first run. The men's slalom event saw a hefty number of DNFs. These ladies will be hoping to avoid the same fate. All the way down to number 12, which is Aleksandra FRANTSEVA, who is the reigning slalom champion. Hasn't been at the races this season. And
so our first competitor that we will see today is going to be
if
from
FRANTSEVA
Croatia.
can indeed
GOLUZA
retain her title. The
Eva,
Jeongseon slalom course.
17 years old.
So 200 meter drop.
In Italy just last year.
54 gates, of which are 53 that you will turn through. A twisty and windy, more technical event than the rest. And there they are at the top. The athletes preparing themselves, keeping themselves warm, keeping themselves supple, and just eager to get onto the course, I'm sure. There's Danelle UMSTEAD, United States of America, and the background is Noemi Ewa RISTAU. Just kept side in the far right side, that's Brett Wild, the guide for Millie Knight. And here are our spectators as well. Most tickets sold for Paralympic Winter Games right across the board, and can't say I've been surprised. Women's slalom visually impaired. Run 1 here from the Jeongseon Alpine Centre is a matter of moments away. The course is set. They'll use the gates on the right side of your screen first off. The second run will come down the left side. All these final preparations as the first of our athletes gets ready to go. The first athlete is the youngest. The second will be the oldest in the women's VI. This is Eva GOLUZA and Anna Zichman. Zichman guide in the orange bib, denoted by the letter G. I wonder if the Croatians have stopped bouncing from their slalom success in men's events on day 8. Can day 9 bring them some more? It wouldn't be an expected feat. I've spoken to the Croatian coaches. This is purely all about learning for Eva GOLUZA. So away goes our first athlete of the final day of action here in Pyeongchang. Eva GOLUZA of Croatia, just 17, only took up skiing in 2012. Embraced what happened in Sochi, expressed an interest to be a part of the next 4-year cycle. And even though she's just 17, they do see a bright future. Went to the World Championships last year for a little bit of experience at a big event. Got a 7th place finish. Respectable in the slalom that time out. She's really been limited with opportunities to run this year. The World Cup campaign hampered by weather conditions pretty much from start to finish. The very first event in St. Moritz didn't even take place, and there were even cancellations in the World Cup final in Kimberley all the way through from early December to late February. They had some problems getting these athletes out on courses. GOLUZA seemingly no problems getting down this course. Final gate and the line, and Eva GOLUZA gets 1:10.27. The youngest is safely down.
And that will be the time to beat at 1:10.27.
GOLUZA knows she gets a second run. Now a lady that's got plenty of experience on the slopes. This is Danielle UMSTEAD. Husband Rob, the guide. It's a second Paralympic Games for these pair. Sixth place finish in the slalom last time out. He is indeed 46 years young. Fourth in the slalom last time out. A DNF in 2010. Hasn't been the best of World Cup seasons. Again, the VI athletes communicating through headsets. And microphones just in front of their faces. You might be able to make those out. It's done by Bluetooth. They can hear each other very clearly. Whilst GOLUZA is a B3 skier, UMSTEAD is at B2. Classified on their own visual impairments. Across the line, and UMSTEAD is indeed 5.77 seconds quicker. And Eva GOLUZA. Park City residents. Set the first time of the day for them. Noemi Ewa RISTAU.
Gas.
Are you ready? Set. Yeah. 3, 4.
Away they go then. Lucien Gekau is the guide for Noemi. Another of our B2 classified skiers. They are measured in their levels of visual acuity. Varying impairments and eye conditions within the VI category. You are tested against your own vision, and that manipulates the clock. On the right-hand side, you'll notice it said a factored time, which is 82%. The clock that these guys and girls run through in the VI category doesn't run the same as a standard stopwatch, so you can put that away. RISTAU going well, 6.42 seconds already clear. There's Danielle UMSTEAD. Oh, big slide there. Getting very close to Lucien. You often see the skiers collide with their guides if the guide has slowed a little too much, but no such dramas here. Oh, 8.38 the difference. That's good from Noemi. It's a nice first run to get under their belt. Yeah. From husband and wife a few moments ago to sisters this time out. This is Eleanor Sana, the athlete, Chloe Sana, the guide. Eleanor, just 20 years old. Come from Courant Saint-Etienne. Debuted back in 2014 Landgraaf in the Netherlands. A little slow here. They will be holding their heads high whatever happens here in the slalom event. They've already got their Paralympic moment, a bronze in the downhill in the opening days. Maybe a surprise, but you have to get to the bottom and clock a time. And if those around you fall, that isn't your problem. What is a problem is time here. They're well behind RISTAU and Gechau's time. Eleanor and Chloe desperately reaching for some extra speed through the bottom section of this course. And to the line. Well, that shows you how good RISTAU's time was. 6:12 is indeed the time to beat. 1:01.95 for the SANA sisters. Been a mixed bag for Millie Knight so far here in Pyeongchang. A couple of silvers. And a couple of events where she might have expected to medal and hasn't. So Millie Knight and her guide Brett Wild. And you forget that Millie is just 19. Already a world champion in the downhill. Wild launching the instructions. Absolutely relentless, and Knight has the ability to follow those instructions at pace. Downhill gold medal win at the World Championships. On her way back from an injury sustained, but it's not the injury she sustained that was the problem, it was the block of confidence. And they are pulling away from RISTAU's time then. And here, Brett Wild, it's a real demanding guide. And very clear. I'm not even sure he needs a microphone. Through the line, 1.84, and that brings a huge cheer from the section of British spectators in the venue. Arms aloft. 54-28 is going to be competitive for Knight and Wild. Now, if you're going to put in a competitive time, the person that's going to compete against it the most is likely to be this lady. Henrieta Farkasova from Slovakia, guided by Natalia Shubatova. They wear matching outfits on the slopes. They wear matching moon boots off the slopes. A real dream team when it comes to para-alpine, and she's inside at the first time check. Farkasova has 4 golds so far from 4 events. Is this to be the ultimate Paralympic experience for the 31-year-old from Rosnava? She took 2 away from Sochi, 2 disqualifications and a bronze. This one has been faultless. What a journey this has been so far, but they have half a course and still another run to go. And mistakes can happen at any time, but they are normally so good. This is tight though. Well, the last 4 golds that these ladies have won here, they've had some fairly big leads. I think that was more of a struggle than their normal performances, but still as majestic as ever. Farkasova and Shubatova and Slovakia lead. Second of the British athletes to go. She's Menna FITZPATRICK and her guide Jennifer Keogh. Men and Jen, as they are known in the social media world. Forming a great relationship on and off the slopes as well. certainly what you need. That bond with your guide, the trust levels for a VI skier have to be high. There's not a lot in this. 5 100s in the opening section, which would mean she's inside Millie Knight as well. Fitzpatrick has got a bronze and 2 silvers. Real disappointment on the opening day of the games when there was a fall in the first event. But talk about getting back onto the skis and going again. Just 0.85 left. Can she find anything more in this bottom section? Keo, a competitor for the Army in her own right, going as quick as she can. Oh, 0.43. We have got a contest. If you judge the first 4 medals that FARKASOVA had won, you'd think this would be a walk in the park, but it's not going to be. 0.7 separates the top 3.
Cheer it up, Mel. Have some fun.
Great spot of advice from one of the coaches for Melissa PERRINE. Have some fun. PERRINE, who didn't enjoy the opening couple of days of competition, has been a leading light for the Australian team since then. 2 bronzes. And she's won medals in the super combined and the giant slalom. So another that will feature here in this competition. Remember, we've got the reigning champion to come now. 1.09 is much wider than the top 3 were in that section, but there's a bottom section still to come. They'll drop down to their right now and come towards home, the bottom half of the course then. Next time check is 38.19. Are they in medal contention? No, it would seem not. 2.49. There's a chance here, they might even be outside the top 4. 29-year-old pushing on. Christian Geiger leading Melissa PERRINE. Is there one more medal for Australia in the Alpine? 3.16 in the end. She does indeed miss out on the top 4 at 5th position.
So we got 3.16 back in the 5th for Melissa PERRINE.
Melissa PERRINE and Christian Geiger go into 5th with 4 to come. There are our leaders. First ever Brit to win a gold at the Paralympic Winter Games. Is Kelly Gallagher and her guide Gary Smith. Gary's guide at times, and here she is with Gary, attempting to recapture some of the form that she had in 2014. That Super G gold. 3 DNFs and a 6th around that gold. But nonetheless, she became the record breaker. She's an MBE, 32 years of age. She had to fight hard to make it onto the British team. It wasn't something that was an automatic. She wasn't in the list when they initially announced the teams. She had to wait to see if she could secure one of the other spots afterwards. Luckily for Gallagher and Smith, she did. 53.58 is the time at the moment. Gallagher's going to be outside, but she is going to complete the course. Just outside of Melissa PERRINE. 57.35 for Gallagher and Smith of Great Britain.
대부분의 선수들이 1분 이내의 기록을 가지고 있고요. 현재 1위를 하고 있는 선수의 기록은 53초 58이고요. 2위로 들어오는 선수의 기록.
Staci Manella.
Come on, girls.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
After a 6th place finish for Staci Manella in Sochi, decided she wanted to concentrate on her studies. Which is not the worst decision anyone can make, is it? Continued those studies at Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire, So this is technically the comeback. ACL trouble in recent times. But 2 sixth-place finishes in Sochi in both the slalom and the giant slalom suggest that when she's on form, she is capable of good times. Manella, nickname Thriller from Manella. You get that? Staci and guide Sally DeBout. He's 30 years of age. They got bronze in Tavisio in the Worlds. Oh, and that one mistake there would suggest that any chance of a medal has just gone. Oh, and Manella might not make run 2 either. Well, she's going to come across the line, and she is furious with herself. There are the leaders. Oh, Staci Manella beats the ground. It was the ground she was on that was the problem. Just here, big slide coming up. Oh, and it's, well, I think she stayed within the course. We'll have to check later on, but her time was 1:04.33. She's behind the Sana sisters. She's in 8th position. Republic of Korea have come out to support all of their athletes. Gold success on day 8. The nation is buzzing. This is Yang Jae Rim and Chuon Sori, part of the opening ceremony parade. They pretty much got their Olympic moment before it was even officially opened. Not expected to be around the medals. 28-year-old from Seoul will probably get the loudest cheer of all of the VI athletes at the bottom. Coached by Yang Sung-chul. At the moment, he's listening to only one person, and that, of course, is the guide, Ko Sori. At the moment, they are 4.94 seconds back. Became partially blind in her right eye, and then losing the sight in her left altogether. Result of a premature birth. Across the line, 6.64 seconds. That's enough for 7th place. She's in front of a 2018 bronze medal winner. She's in front of a 2014 gold medal winner. Not a bad place to be. No DNFs yet, which is great news. Aleksandra, FRANTSEVA, neutral Paralympic athlete delegation, have some very talented skiers in their ranks. Aleksandra FRANTSEVA is one of those MPA athletes that is capable of something big, but not been her year. Brother competes in the men's events. Aleksandra won the Super Combined and the Slalom in Sochi. She was silver in the giant slalom and the Super 2. She got bronze in the downhill, medalled in every event 4 years ago. Things have changed since then, and has not been with a competitive edge able to get anywhere near since then. World champions back in Panorama in 2015, world champions back in La Molina in 2013, winning silvers in 2011. She's had a real purple patch within the sport, but here at these games and the last couple of years, those results have not been as kind. And once again, This won't be time. Oh dear, and the guide and FRANTSEVA coming together. Well, I have to say, Simon Plaskin is potentially at major fault there. He is the guide. And, should never ski across. I think that's exactly what Jeongseon is trying to explain to Menna FITZPATRICK. As a guide, very rare to see them ski across their skier, but completely accidental, and these two will go off and assess that performance and maybe the ending as well. 102.35 for the reigning champion. Can't see her winning from there. So FARKASOVA in a position that she's used to, but the others are a lot closer than she is used to as well. Just 0.66 FITZPATRICK and Keo, just 0.7 for Millie Knight and Brett Wild. 7/10 of a second between the top three. The rest over 2.5 seconds behind. Women's slalom standing event is next in our schedule. Take a look at the starters. Young Frederique Turgeon of Canada will go first. There's a whole host of quality in behind that. The JEPSEN has enjoyed a good games for Canada. No one has enjoyed it more than Marie Bochet, have they? The French athlete who wears bib number 17, for your reference, has 3 from 4 golds. A uncharacteristic fall in the super combined, you feel, is the only thing and the only reason she hasn't got 4 from 4. These ladies have struggled in 3 events to keep anywhere near the flying French athlete. But if someone makes a mistake, you have to be able to step up and take control, and that was Mollie JEPSEN. It actually meant that Andrea ROTHFUSS of Germany still ended up with the silver. She's been behind Bochet in 3 events. You would have thought when Bochet fell out of the competition, the natural order would have been for ROTHFUSS to get a gold. Mollie JEPSEN said no, no. And JEPSEN it was that picked up that super combined victory. Now, Frederique Turgeon from Canada, only introduced to the World Cup circuit this season fairly late. It's the 18-year-old from Montreal has the honour of setting the first time. Now the men's slalom standing and sitting was a real battle, and the DNFs just kept racking up. At the moment, nothing so far on this course to cause anyone a concern, and Frederique is moving through very steadily indeed. Nicknamed Fred, again for fairly obvious reasons. It's not without its dangers, this sport. He's suffered a concussion or two. And, right leg been impaired since birth, or just slowing really badly through that last section, but Turgeon comes to the line. 106.74 for Frederique. That is indeed the time that everyone else has to try and get to. She just got her outrigger caught in that gate post, and then because she's trying to slow herself and steady herself, she pretty much comes to a standstill. 106.74, it is a completed run. Whether it will be competitive enough or not, I'm not quite sure. Another of our single leg skiers then. This is Anna Jochemsen. good success in the World Cup series as well. Another that uses the outriggers. They are the devices in either hand for Jochemsen, who gets all out of shape in that last section. She's bang level with Frederique over the opening stages. Looking a little ragged here. Working very hard to stay upright is Anna Jochemsen. 32 years of age. Now lives in Utrecht. She found the line to be quicker than Turgeon. She should be. Oh, and she is 5.69, 101.05. We expect those times to dip inside 60 seconds. Anna Jochemsen is the second of 17 to come down in the women's standing event.
Come on, Tuck. Here we go. Attack it. Come on, up, up.
Ellen. United States have just one medal in the women's para-alpine. Oh, and steps down. And there's a big slide here unless she can try and control it. She's tucking in to try and keep herself safe, and this is not good news. It's a long, slippy course, and she's managed to come to a halt in the more powdery stuff to the right side, and that would have been scary for a little while, and I'm sure it's hurt as well. But Stephanie is a tough cookie, and there you go, acknowledging the crowd. So that's our first DNF of the day. Sometimes you train so hard and just something like that happens. There's very much nothing you can do. Once you're down and sliding, you just have to hope for the best. And ROTHFUSS knows what it feels like to come second. Will be desperate to have the feeling of coming first. The 28-year-old, originally from Frauenstadt in Germany. She's inside Jochemsen's time. She would hope to be. She'll hope to be inside the 60-second mark. First competition back in 2004. This is her fourth Paralympic Games. She's medalled at every one of them. Only the one gold in this event. Last time out, the defending champion is having sweet silver moments here in Pyeongchang. This is her moment to show the rest of the field that she wants that gold back. And across the line, 58-53. Said she'd want to be inside 60 seconds. With Bochet coming next, this will be a real good measure. Look at some nods. ROTHFUSS is in approval. Next up. Hard to say that Marie Bochet is not the dominant force in this event. She is. Marie Bochet, 3 out of 4 golds, only a DNF prevented her, but that is part of the sport, getting down. She's had a couple of World Cup events where she didn't finish. She is super quick. Her third game, she got 4 last time. She wants to match that at least. It was oddly the slalom where she DNF'd last time out. Well, she's already had 1 DNF. She won't want another. The super combined wasn't kind for Marie Bochet, but she is moving. Won everything there was to win at the World Champs back in 2013. Only came second in the giant slalom and slaloms at the World Champ in 17, but she is motoring. My word, this is quick. Oh, tremendous. 55-18. Take a bow, Bochet. That is blistering. Well, waves to the camera as she just waved goodbye to everyone else. That's frighteningly quick. Still got to do it in the second run, though. Petra SMARZOVA from Selina. Distinctive pink cap. Petra SMARZOVA likes to wear. And just the single ski pole of use for the 27-year-old. Another with plenty of experience. A third game. She's medalled in the first two games, so she knows this is a final chance to keep that run going. She got a bronze in the slalom in Sochi and bronze in the giant slalom in 2010, so this is her big final moment, as it were. Has to come up with something big to put herself in contention. Nothing so far from 4 events. Oh, a little wild. But regains her composure very neatly indeed. 55-18 has gone. Second at the moment, 58-53. Well, she's third, 4.04. All of Slovakia's medals in the women's events have come in the form of FARKASOVA in the VI. Can SMARZOVA help to top that table up? There's our leader. We should be turning water into wine with a 4th gold. Anna-Maria RIEDER. RIEDER gets the use of the singular ski pole as well. RIEDER, oh, comes off the course. Well, one of the skis has uncoupled itself and starts to make a journey downwards, but Anna-Maria's journey is done for these Paralympics.
So unfortunate right now for
And that's the end for the young German skier. Well, she has Andrea ROTHFUSS to look up to, and I'm sure she will use that over time to gain experience and learn. But here, she's learned about the agony of going out very early in the first run of the slalom. Melanie Schwartz of the United States of America.
Let's go, Mel.
32.
Attack it, up, up.
Schwartz,
Go, go, go.
another of our single leg skiers, originally from Toronto. Schwartz goes past the section that claimed Anna-Maria. I love the story that Schwartz has about the time she joined the American team. He insisted that she learn all of the NFL team names, then learn the words to the national anthem. I found the anthem a bit easy. It's a third games. Best of a 9th in Super G in Sochi, 10th in the slalom. After 2010. That's a part of the torch relay before the Olympic Winter Games in Vancouver. And across the line then, 1:11.72. Not in contention for medals on day number 9.
You got this, girl.
Now Mel Pemble.
Hammer, Mel. Let's go.
Let's go, Mel.
Get it, Mel. Let's go. Come on.
Well, Pemble is just 17. Was born in Great Britain, but she's very much Canadian. Parents from Preston, the north of England. Mum and Dad are here in the stands. And now Pemble, just 17, will be loving every moment of this experience. She's already beat the World Championships, was exceptionally young there, of course. 7th place in the Super G, and 9th in the slalom. A couple of DNFs, but that's all part of the learning at this age. This will be about getting to the bottom and making sure she completes the course. Her aspirations are to compete in the cycling events of Tokyo 2020, and then moving on to, of course, Beijing 2022. Oh, big slide. The brakes are virtually on full. Now, she's not off the course here, Mel. Oh, decides that's enough. She could have spun round, you felt, Mel Pemble, and maybe it's the pains of a long week. So, Mel Pemble got herself sideways, but wasn't out of the course by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe she's a little bit older, would have made a different decision. I think she would have wanted to complete the course, but there you go. Might not have been feeling it. Now, Maria Papulova. Another of our future Paralympic athletes. There are 2 in this event. Papulova is 36 now. 4th position in this event in Sochi, her 2nd game. A couple of 5th place finishes there as well, which again she'd have come away from those games thinking, what if? And it's part, of course, of what sport is all about. Just what if someone slips? Just what if someone makes a mistake? We've seen a few medal winners of bronzes and silvers who've started 2nd runs down in 6th and 7th position. You just have to hope that those in front of you make a mistake. Papulova is trying not to make one of her own. 55.18 has gone, but this is competitive, you know. 3rd, 3.61. Papulova will have set out today to try and rectify those 4th and 5th places from 4 years ago. She's part way there. 3rd position for now. 24-year-old Bochet leads 28-year-old Rothfuss from 36-year-old Papulova. Teenagers aren't in this one yet. I say yet. This is 16-year-old Ali Kunkel. Portland. Ali Kunkel. Originally lives in Steamboat Springs now. Born with an underdeveloped right arm due to a limb condition known as dysmelia. There you go. Ali's factor time not changed at all, so her clock runs exactly as it should. This requires feeding her impairments not to affect her ability to ski. Only has the ability to use one ski pole. Outside of the 55.18, she won't be on her own here. Oh, and clatters through the final stages, as well as missing the final gate. And Kunkel slides out of the 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. So, an early exit for the 16-year-old, the youngest in the women's standing. And sadly, sliding out. And she'd gone between those two gates, I think she would have clocked a time. She'd actually gone round the other one, but there you go. The day doesn't always end how you wanted it to.
Get on it, Mollie. Let's go.
Push through.
Get on it, Mollie.
Come on,
Back
Mollie.
up top we go.
You got
Power,
it.
Mollie. Let's go.
Mollie,
Here we are. Back to action in the women's standing. And Mollie Jepsen has had a decent games. Third in the downhill. Gold in the super combined. Picked up another bronze in the giant slalom. She got what it takes to put in a monster first run. And give Bochet something to think about for the second run. Only 18 is Jepsen, so to have already claimed a title and upset ROTHFUSS a little as well. It's great going, but no, this is going to be well outside as well. So the battle for the other medals is on because Jepsen goes second and ROTHFUSS will be sick of the side of Mollie Jepsen now. Papulova is in the position she was at the end of the Sochi Games. She will be desperate not to finish there. There is not a lot. Less than 6/10 between second, third and fourth at the moment.
Let it go.
Less than a second between second, third, fourth and fifth.
Go, girl. Push
Move
it.
These
through
games
it,
are
Erin.
on.
Let's go. Come on.
Erin Latimer. He had success at the World Cup finals held in Canada. She's 21 years of age, now living in Toronto. Slide her way through the course, but really having to dig the edge of those blades in and make these turns. And that will only go to slow you down. Wanted to follow in the footsteps of her older sister and cousins and compete skiing. Her grandfather actually co-founded a ski club in Ontario. She was born with a congenital amputation of her right arm below the elbow. Hence the use of just a singular ski pole, but another athlete that is given 100% factor for time. This is not quick for Latimer, but it is a complete run, 106.55. We've had four that haven't made it down, and Latimer is not going to be one of those.
There you go. Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Ramsay.
Do it, Abear. Come on,
This
push,
is
push, push,
a
push.
serious contender in Alana Ramsay. 22-year-old from Calgary. Bronze medals and silver medals from the World Championships last year. Slalom was oddly the one where she didn't medal. I feel there is an improvement in her, but it's slow here. Each course affects each athlete differently. And it would seem that Ramsay is struggling in the open section. However, 3.35 puts you in the top three. There's already one Canadian there, Mollie Jepsen sat in second. Bochet's time 39.66, and as every athlete comes down, as each athlete leaves, you respect Bochet's time a little bit more. But here, coming towards a finish is Ramsay. Will she be in contention for a medal? Sixth position. Well, it's only just over a second outside of second. So Alana Ramsay is there or thereabouts when it comes to the battle for silver and bronze, but it's now starting to look like it's Bochet's to throw away with just 3 to come. Anastasiia KHOROSHEVA, neutral Paralympic athlete. Anastasiia competed heavily on the World Cup circuit, got as many events in as she could. KHOROSHEVA got stronger as the World Cup went on, but big time difference in the opening section. I expect KHOROSHEVA to be one of those outside the minute mark. 21 from Moscow. And 13th in Sochi, 11th in this very event, the slalom. Already competed in the 2 slalom events back in 2014, has been on your screen several times during Pyeongchang. Bats away the final gates and through the line in a 1:05.80, so she's ahead of LATIMER, TURGEON and SCHWARTZ. At the moment, sits in 8th position. Ami Hondo, 21 years of age. And, Japan have 4 medals so far. They have all come from Muraoka in the sitting class. Hondo got something she wants to give us here on the final day of these games. Just 21. He took up this sport seriously in 2016, just to struggle through there, and already a big gap between Hondo and Bochet, but if she can find speed at the bottom, there's still the hopes of a top 5 finish. She just wanted to compete here and then concentrate on winning gold in 2022. So, realistic approach from Hondo. Get the experience and look for the future. Well, it looks quick, doesn't it? It's deceptive. The big slides, the heavy grinding into the corners means that she's some 10.5 seconds back. 1:05.76. First major event for Ami Hondo. Final of the athletes to go in the women's standing slalom. Bosnia and Herzegovina's Ilma Kasazic. I can tell you from experience of commentating on Ilma, her achievement is not a gold or a silver or a bronze. The respect is for Ilma to make it down. Her impairment is such that this is something she does purely for the love and tries exceptionally hard. It was visible during the World Cup that Ilma Kasazic intended to compete but complete mostly the courses. Born with cerebral palsy, there's a big effect on her muscles throughout her body. Kasazic making every effort to get to the bottom. She did the slalom and giant slaloms in Sochi. She didn't actually start the slalom in the end. She DNF'd in the giant slalom. Her journey here in Pyeongchang to the bottom is one that she wants to do from the heart. The last few years haven't been without tragedy either. The coach she was with and had been for so long leading up to the games in Sochi since then has passed away. He actually competed in Sochi himself. So now with a new guide, she says she does everything in her old coach's honour. She was indeed the first female to represent Bosnia and Herzegovina in alpine skiing at the Winter Games. The time is 1:27.05. Her position is 13. Kazajic will be delighted to make it to the bottom here. There are a couple of flags in the crowd, so she's got some support in the stands. Well, how do you solve a problem like Marie? Bochet is at it again, top of the podium for now after the first run. But how on earth do these ladies get past her? Jepsen in second, 3.18 the difference. ROTHFUSS 3.35, Papulova 3.61. It is tight for second and third. Women's slalom sitting event here at the Jeongseon Alpine Centre is what we can bring you now. 9 competitors. No, Tori Pendergast of Australia hasn't had the best games. So, she's missing from your list, but Momoka Muraoka on the other side of the coin has had a sensational games. Not sure even Muraoka would have expected what's happened here. Silver in the downhill, bronze in the Super G, bronze in the Super Combined, and then all of a sudden everything changed. Gold in the giant slalom. What an event that was. What a moment it was for Muraoka. Few final checks and changes. You see the start gate even has a change as well. The little gate that comes across is used on a higher setting for the sit skiers, so they can push open the timer with the upper half of their bodies, as opposed to being a low one where athletes in the standing and VI clock the timer with their legs. The athletes in the sit skis take it in and around the chest and head height to set the timer going. Okay, just waits for those changes to be made. You see the centre of your screen there, that's the gate. Nice and firm. So they'll be waiting. Momoka asked if she's ready. During these games, she's always been ready. She's in great form, great spirits. Can Momoka Muraoka medal in 5 events here in Pyeongchang? Well, to do it on the last day, she has to come down cleanly twice. And we saw real problems for the men's sitting event in the slalom on day 8. No such dramas just yet for the giant slalom victor. Finished ahead of Van Impelen and Loesch. Muraoka will set the time for the rest to try and better. She's only 21. The lady from Saitama. Although Momo on the team. Again, some nicknames are more adventurous than others. He also wants to compete in athletics in 2020. A very determined young lady. And as she comes to the line, 57.22. So the opening time is inside a minute. Is that competitive? Let's go and find out, shall we? So Laurie Stevens from the United States of America. The 33-year-old Laurie Stevens from the USA has a bronze in the downhill. Maneuvering that mono ski, again, it's all about the core strength here. The shoulders having to work hard as well. The outriggers are the devices you can see in either hand. If this is a first chance of looking at sit skiing for you guys at home, the sit ski has a suspension device below a bucket seat. That device attaches itself to a singular ski on the majority of occasions. There are the odd mono ski that has two at the bottom. Just clips in like a ski boot. Certainly in the slalom, sometimes the helmets change to protect the face just a little bit more. And you see the gate poles just being brushed aside, but you can get a whip back in the face. But well, Moroka's time is certainly looking very good because Stevens is well outside of it, well outside of the minute. The bronze medal winner from the downhill isn't looking like replicating that success here on the final day. Across the line, 11.67 is the difference. It's a 108.89 for Laurie Stevens of the United States of America. With a smile on that lady's face pretty much every day. And why not?
Okay, let's go, Lynn.
Come on, Danelle.
Come on.
Come on, Danelle.
Linda van Impelen from the Netherlands. 32 now. Silver medal winner in the giant slalom behind Muraoka. So the Japanese athlete at the bottom will be expecting to see a good time registered from Linda van Impelen, and there's a big giant Van Impelen flag at the bottom. A banner. Oh, she's got all sidewards and stationary. Well, she was already 2.97 back. Getting her arm and her outrigger caught on the gate post. And now she has to find some extra speed through the remaining turns. Drops down into vision of the spectators right now. And they'll be willing her on. But an early mistake for Van Impelen might be hugely costly. Some big names still to come in the sport of sit skiing. Victor, Eder, Schaffelhuber and Loesch. Van Impelen would have expected to have been in contention. 57.22 has gone, and we're still 4 gates from the end. Van Impelen has got ground to make up. 103.92 is good enough for second of the 3 that have gone, but big names to come. Annalena Forster being one of them as well.
USA number 3.
It wasn't without problems, was it? For Linda van Impelen. 6.7 seconds back. Best hope now is to get one of the other medals, because gold looks a long way away, but just never know in sit skiing. This is Annalena Forster from Germany. Gold medal. The World Cup Series as own. Forster then a little drag back as well for her. She was inside the time of Muraoka. Forster, who's won the Super Combined event here in Pyeongchang. The natural successor to Anna Schaffelhuber. As the great German says she's retiring. Well, Annalena Forster with a gold already here, beating Schaffelhuber on that occasion. And despite that setback, is pulling away. 1.71 the difference. As Annalena Forster got some extra speed at the bottom as well. It improves even more, 1.86. Oh, even the Japanese athletes can't help but applaud that. One of the most successful in the women's events so far. Germany have got 8 medals over their 4 events in just the women's section. Can Forster and Schafferhuber improve it still? Stephanie Victor from Switzerland. And, tuned in to previous Paralympic Winter Games, you'll have heard Stephanie Victor from the United States of America. Not anymore. Represents Switzerland, married to Marcel Koenen. And that's where he comes from, so Stephanie wanted to compete for them in honour of her husband and coach. You see both the flags though remaining on the front of her monoski. She was 4th earlier on in the week in the giant slalom, and she was very happy about that. And here's a lady that's got plenty of history within the sport. This is her 5th games, technically her 4th. DNF in the Super G. A real bad accident, and it meant that that was the end of her game. So she'll be looking to finish. She'd never DNF'd before that. And Sochi wasn't kind to a lot of athletes in terms of big crashes. Chang has been much more a delight. I was talking to Andrew Kirky yesterday about the very same thing. And through the line then. 3rd position, 102.53, arms aloft for Stephanie Victor, who was indeed the victor in 2010 in the Super Combined and 2006 in the slalom. Is there one more medal for Stephanie Victor in 2018? It's Forster, Muraoka and Victor for now. Heike Eder from Austria. Was Heike Trutsche. She married husband Armin Eder. Another with plenty of experience, despite just being 29. But, Eder after crashing whilst training in giant slalom when she was just 18, so an avid skier wanting to still maintain that feeling of being at one with the course. As Heike Eder got a special performance in a 5th and a 6th at the World Champs last year, 6th in the slalom. Means that we know she is the competitive type and can get somewhere near, but 4.46 seconds back. It would be good enough for 3rd at the moment if she maintained that pace. Big back end slide. Just using the edge of the singular ski to check her speed at various times. 1:01.35. She does go 3rd. Well, Forster's time looking more and more impressive. 1.86 ahead of Muraoka. There are 2 giants of women's sit ski racing to come up next. We will watch on knowing that nothing is secure just yet. Absolutely nothing when this lady's around. Schafferhuber of Germany, 25 years old, from Berbach, east of Munich, quite near to the Austrian border. She says she plans to retire. I never quite believe it until I see it. And the fact that she's won 2 golds here tells me there's still plenty of ability, but it's a tough old training regime, and despite the fact that she's only 25, the intention is to do this once more here and be done. Well, maybe she'll miss the buzz, you never know. She certainly has lots of success. She won 5 in Sochi. She won the first 2 here. It was a medal gold streak of 7 events without being stopped for Anna Schaffelhuber. I know that was made a big deal of in the media. Anna Schaffelhuber is well outside at the moment. It's the contest for second. Schaffelhuber, oh, now that changes the complex nature of the sport because it's third. Well, Annalena will be clapping on the outside. I'm sure there's some dancing going on the inside because the further these ladies are behind, the more chance Annalena Forster has of coming away from these games as a double gold medal winner. There is the problematic area for Anna Schaffelhuber. And you have to say, contender for most annoyed of the games. Claudia Loesch from Austria had such a great World Cup campaign. Such a great campaign. When people like myself thought we were coming here to watch Loesch get back some of the gold medals that she missed out on in Sochi. Just hasn't been. She's got 2, a silver and a bronze. Oh, and another that is having an issue out here on the course. The 29-year-old from Innsbruck, gold medal in the slalom and the Super G in 2010. This was her baby, but it's Schaffelhuber who took it away from her in Sochi, and now Loesch has to find something huge in this bottom section to close the gap between herself and Annalena Forster. She's running in around about second position. That halt at the top hasn't done too much damage. Doesn't need any more mistakes in this bottom section. 55-36. It's coming and going, but she's not going to be far behind, you know. Oh, it's third. Claudia Loesch goes into third. The great Schaffelhuber's in fourth. Moroka is in second. But it means that Annalena Forster gets to the halfway stage on the final day in control. Just allowing the back end to spill out there. That was fine. But here, just the right bicep. They're big, strong girls in the upper half. And the right bicep just catching hold of the pole too low down. And they're tough down there. They stay a little bit stronger down there. Liu Xitong. Another having a problem with the forearm. Again, in fact, just slightly higher. Catch the gate pole. Got to relax your arm. And here, Liu Xitong has had a big problem early doors. So 18 seconds is the first time check. Liu Xitong is already going to be a considerable amount behind that. The slowest time we've had, 108.89 from Stevens. Currently, this will be slower. Pardon the giant slalom here as well. This is about an education for 23-year-old Liu Xitong. She hasn't got a major event to her name in her history. Very much a lover of short track racing, short track skating. Her heroes are Wang Meng and Wu Daijing. Didn't make a debut until a World Cup. In fact, it was a European Cup in Austria, so Liu Xitong, certainly the grandest stage that she's had a chance of racing on. And Liu Xitong gets through the line in a time of 1:14.10. And there is a very happy Annalena Forster from Germany. He has the lead at the halfway stage. And it's not a small lead either. 1.86. However, in the sitting events, disaster can strike at any time. So it's Forster from Moroka, from Loesch. Fancy there could be some big surprises to come in that sitting event. Well, that's the end of the first run. The course they've just used is already being dismantled. They'll come down the left-hand side of the mountain during the second run, and we'll have all the action for that. So don't miss it. Who will hold their nerve? Who will surprise us on the final day here at the Jeongseon Alpine Centre? Plenty of people here at the venue watching on. They'll stick around to catch the second run as well.
동계 패럴림픽 대회 오늘 마지막 경기 중에 첫 번째 1차를 오늘 마쳤습니다. 여자 슬라롬 경기를 함께하고 계시는데요. 여자 슬라롬 2차란 경기는 12시
It's a dull day here. The lights are on at the Alpine Centre. Well, whilst the weather can be described as dull here at the Jeongseon Alpine Centre, the action on the slopes certainly can't be described in the same way. It's business as normal for FARKASOVA in the women's VI. Marie Bochet looks unstoppable in the women's standing. You'd have to say the women's sitting is the most open contest, but you just never know when a surprise is around the corner. Thank you for joining us in run number 1. I'm sure you'll be back for run 2.